Hello everyone, I am going to discuss with the topic that is minor who can be admitted to the partnership firm or not. So in my last video I have discussed about the six type of partners under the Indian Partnership Act. So that was the last important kinds of partners where the partners by holding out or estoppel. But today I am going to discuss the topic that is minor. As such, under the Indian Contract Act, minor who is incompetent to contract, that means he cannot enter into a contract because he does not have a capacity to understand the terms and conditions of the agreement and the consequences. So that's why he was not able to enter into the contract. But let's see under the Indian Partnership Act, though the minor is incompetent to contract, whether he can be able to be in the partnership firm or not, or what are the ways he can be a partner. Now let's start with that. We say that partnership business or partnership is based on mutual contract. That's we know. And therefore only those who possess the capacity to contract can be a partner in a partnership firm. Because Indian Partnership Act says partnership has to have a agreement or there must be a contract between the partners. When they become a partner in the partnership firm by way of contract, it's assumed or presumed that, or it's implied that he should be competent to contract. That means he must have a capacity to enter into an agreement. That means to enter into a valid contract. So if it is there, then how you can think about that minor can be, become a partner in a partnership firm? That's the very definition it says. Because partnership business or partnership firm is based on mutual contract. And therefore, only those who have the possessions or who has the capacity to contract can be a partner in a partnership firm. So minor does not have a capacity, he is incompetent. So from the very beginning we can say, from the definition of partnership, he cannot become a partner because he is incapable of entering into a contract. So according to the Indian Contract Act, an agreement by a minor is void ab initio as against him, but he can derive benefit from or under it. So according to the contract only, we say that Indian Contract Act, we say that minor's agreement or agreement by a minor is void ab initio. Void ab initio means it is void from the very beginning. It's a void ab initio. And against him, that means void against him, right? But he can derive benefit under it. He can himself derive a benefit under it. As you have very well understood by the Indian Contract Act, that was a very renowned case, or that is a very most essentials to be discussed this case under the minor chapters, that is the Mohuri Bibi versus Dharmadas case. That was the base on the minor. So in that very case, the fact says that, so minor, if he has taken a loan by misrepresenting to a major person, and he by entering into a contract he has taken a loan, then that loan cannot be recovered by the competent person or the major person under the contract who has entered into a contract with minor. That was the very facts of the Mohuri Dharmadas Ghosh case. So same thing will apply. So that's why we say that minor's agreement is void ab initio, but he can derive benefit under it. Right? It's very clear. He can only have the profits, or he can get it, and he cannot give it or return it. Nobody can recover from minor. Now as such, a minor cannot be a full-fledged partner. He cannot be a full-fledged partner. He can almost be admitted to the benefit of a partnership. He can be, admitted to the benefit of a partnership. If there is a profit sharing is there, some benefit he can acquire it under the partnership firm, but he cannot become a full-fledged partner. Section 30 of the Act that is the Indian Partnership Act. It lays down that though a minor cannot be a partner in a firm, but with the consent of all the partners, he may be admitted to the benefit of partnership by an agreement executed through his guardian with the other partners. So it is very important. Section 30 we have to discuss under the minor who can be admitted to the partnership firm. What is the provision lays down there? It says that the minor, though he cannot be a partner, of course he cannot be a partner in the firm, but with the consent of all the other partners, minor can take a consent of the other partners. He may be admitted to the benefit of partnership. He will be admitted to the partnership firm for the benefit, and that can be done it by an agreement executed through his guardians with the other partners. Even if he wanted to have a benefit in the partnership firm, he has to be admitted by way of agreement, and that agreement will be executed by whom? By his guardians. By this he can enter into a partnership firm just to entitle for profits or the benefit. He can acquire the benefit over there. Now under this sections, this important point to be noted here is that the following points has to be noted here. What is that? First one is that a minor can be admitted. So a minor can be admitted to the benefits of a partnership with the consent of all the existing partners. He can be admitted to the benefits. Of course, this point is under the section 30 has to be discussed. He can be admitted to the benefits of a partnership with the consent of all the other partners who is an existing one. So he has to take the consent of the existing partners that he will be admitted to the benefit. That means he will only get the benefits. Then second important point to be noted here, that there must be a partnership in existence before a minor can be admitted to its benefits. So partnership firm must be in existence. There must be a partnership firm. Then he can be admitted to the benefits of a partnership. Okay, that is also very important. If there is no partnership firm, how he can be admitted to the partnership firm? Of course not. That is required to be discussed under section 30. Now the next third point is that there cannot be a partnership consisting of all minors. If suppose there is going to be a partnership, but all the suppose 4 or 5 members are there in the partnership firm, so all cannot be a minors at a time. All the partners should not be a minor. That should be very clear under section 30. And the fourth point or the last point under this section 30 to be discussed is if a minor is made full-fledged partner. If suppose he has been made or make him a full-fledged partner under the terms of a partnership deed, the deed will be invalid. If by the partnership deed, the members or the partners who have made him a full-fledged partner under the deed of partnership, then that deed itself will become a invalid deed. Because it is not allowed by law that he should be admitted to the partnership firm as a full-fledged partner. So of course we know that as the minor is incompetent to contract, then how can you make him as a full-fledged partner under the Indian Partnership Act? He cannot. So he cannot be a full-fledged partner under the partnership firm, and that has to be maintained as per the section 30 of the Indian Partnership Acts. You cannot make him a full-fledged partner. Now we will discuss what are his rights and liabilities. So this is very clear that whether he can be entered into a partnership firm as a partner or not, or he become a partner in a partnership firm Either it is a full-fledged or not, he can become a partner or not. So it is very clear from this definition of the partnership firm, and as well as the section 30 says that he cannot be admitted to the partnership firm as a full-fledged partner. Now, what will be his rights and liabilities of a minor who can be admitted or who has been admitted to the benefits of partnership, right, are governed by the following rules are there. So though he has been admitted to the partnership firm for the benefits, now there are certain rules has to be followed also. What are the rules he has to follow it? The first point of these rules will be, the first rule is that he has to observe or he has to follow, that is, the minor is entitled to receive his agreed share of the profit or the property of the firm. So minor, he can be entitled to receive his agreed share of the property and also as well as the profits of the firm. So he can only get benefits, that is the sharing of the property and sharing of the profits of the firm. He is entitled. That's the rule says. Right? Second rule is that the minor has the right of inspecting and taking copies of the books of accounts of the firm. So minor has a right of inspecting and taking copies of the books of accounts. So he can have an inspections of the accounts of the firm. Book of accounts, he can inspect it, as well as he can take also copies of the books of accounts of the firm. He can take it. He can take it means what? Physically he can go for inspections. He can have a book with him. That's the rule says the rights and liabilities he is having. That is his rights. Third rule says the minor is not personally liable to third parties for the debts of the firm, but his liability is limited only up to his share in the partnership assets and profits. So minor is not personally liable to third parties for the debts of the firm. When there is a liabilities or there debts of the firm is there, the minor is not liable, right? He is not liable and he is not personally liable. That means he is not has to give from his pocket. But his liability is limited. What is his limited liability? Only up to his share in the partnership assets and profits. Whatever the share he is getting it in the partnership assets and from the profits, his liability is only up to that, not beyond that. He has to have the liability. He doesn't have that. If partnership assets fall short in extinguishing the debts of the firm, the separate personal property of the minor cannot be applied for payment of the firm debts. So it is very clear that if partnership assets fall short to extinguish the debts of the firm, that means to make repayment of the liability or the debts of the firm, right? If partnership firm's assets is fall short, that means become bankrupts or insolvent, right? That time, the separate personal property of the minor, if suppose minor having a separate property, his personal property is there, that cannot be applied for payment of the firm debts. So, towards the liability or the debts of the firm, the minor's personal property cannot be applied. So, his assets, his separate properties, he cannot be applied to make the repayment of the liability or the debts of the firm. His property is not responsible for that. Not at all his personal property will be responsible to pay or make repayment of the debts of the or the liabilities of the firm. So this is the rights and liabilities of the minor under the partnership form. This rule says, and we have altogether 9 rules are there. So rest of the rules I am going to discuss in my next video. So next coming video I will discuss the rest of the point, that is regarding the rights and liabilities of the minor who has been admitted to the benefits of the partnership firm. It is not possible to discuss at a length. So it is a very lengthy. Also almost there are 9 points are there. So I will be discussing in my next video. So till then keep watching my videos, and I'm ending up my sessions today up to this, and keep watching. And if anyone has not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to it. I'm coming with a more detailed video on the very important provisions for your examinations also. So keep watching till the end of my discussions.